Hey guys, Squatch Reloading here. This video is a follow-up video, and the follow-up video is the last video I put out on my Dillon XL750. And you know, I did my synopsis of the press and what accessories I have and everything, and my only qualm was the backwards cases I was getting on 9mm. And I kind of just thought that was the nature of the beast, and thanks to all of you guys, none of you were experiencing the same problem. So I started doing some thinking about when this occurred, and here we go. It's always important to make good notes through your run process. Not just what grains you're running, your overall lengths and stuff, but in my load manuals, I always make little notes about if I had any issues with the press or what I did to fix it and stuff. And those are the things that I pass along to you guys in these little tips and tricks videos that I get along the way. So I went back a few years in my log sheets, and when I was running my XL650, I wasn't noting any backwards cases, and I ran a ton of 9mm on there. And when I had a 550 that I ended up putting a case feeder on when I sold this XL650, but when I sold the XL650, I sold the small pistol plate with it. The gentleman he wanted the whole setup, and we struck a deal and I made it happen. The reason being is I had another small pistol plate. I have every plate Dillon makes for case feeders. So I had an extra plate that I hadn't been used, but I picked it up at a gun show or something like that, got a great deal on it. It was like brand new. So that plate I put on my 550. And here's where it gets interesting. As soon as I put it on the 550, I experienced some backwards cartridges. So on the 550, the way the case feeder mounts, it is prone to wiggle around a little bit, and I attributed it strictly to that. Didn't give it any more thought because it was infrequent. And I think the issue that I found, the fact that the case feeder moved around, helped what I found and helped the problem. So there's a couple change points here. One, a new press. Two, a different plate that I'd been using in the past. Well, the plate that I got, you know, was used, but it must not have been used too much because it was in excellent condition. So I took other plates that I had, the small and the large, and compared them thicknesses dimensionally, and then put my large pistol plate up there in my case feeder and my small pistol plate, and just held cartridges in there to see if they would fall over as they went up the incline of the case feeder, and you can see those results right now. Alright guys, so I put a 9mm case in this plate, this small pistol plate in my case feeder. It's upside down, and what I noticed right away is that the plate is over halfway up the case. So there's no way that cartridge can fall over if it happens to get in there backwards. You know, granted, it's supposed to, you know, it picks them up, but every once in a while, again, I'll get one that's backwards. So even if it's backwards, you know, as this cartridge comes up the case feeder, there's absolutely no way that it'll fall out. So something is up right there. So for just kicks, I put my large pistol plate in my case feeder, and I go to put a cartridge in, just like I did with the small plate, upside down, and it will not stay in. And these plates are the exact same thickness. So I found something very interesting. Okay, so you can see there's a difference with my small plate. It appears that it's a different thickness, but however it's not. They are the exact same thickness. But you can see between the two plates, the 9mm cartridge, where the plate rides, is a lot higher, and that's why it's not falling out when it comes in there backwards. So rewind to buying that plate. I know when you buy new plates that you get, here's the kicker, spacer washers. And this will come with a small pistol plate when you buy it. And I don't know why I didn't remember this, probably because I bought it used. But like if you're using this small pistol plate and say you're experimenting around or messing with 30 carbine, this plate will work. However, you've got to add a spacer washer right here. And what this spacer washer does is lifts the plate up in the case feeder so that you can run longer cartridges. So when I bought this plate, never thought, because it wasn't in a package, just never thought that this would have been my issue. And wow. So you know, another reason why I do these videos is not just help other people learn, but I'm always learning myself. And this is kind of one of those things where if I would have just looked at the back of the plate, I would have seen immediately that this washer was installed on this plate when I purchased it, and that was my problem the whole time. And I apologize for my ignorance. Maybe I've given the Casefeeder a bad review on 9mm, even on the 550. But hey, there it is. And but just to make sure, I'm going to take the tool head out of this, and I'm going to run 1,000 cases through this case feeder and make sure that none of them come backwards. And we'll see what happens. But the silver lining in this issue, working through it, is you know, again, thank all of you guys who threw ideas out there, and then also said, man, I am not seeing this, and that really got me thinking. So I appreciate all those comments and all you guys that watch the videos and give me feedback. And we're all learners here. If we're not learning, then maybe it was a wasted day, but we didn't. We're learning, so that's a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the silver lining in all this, aside from I think I got my case feeder issue fixed, is I'm going to show you a quick trick using that same 223 case that we used for a case feeder stop switch. I'm going to show you how to use this to turn off your priming system on your XL750, and this will also work for you guys running 550s as well. So let's pan over, and we're going to get set up to start sampling our fix that we think we have fixed, and I'll show you this quick trick. Okay guys, so I've got the case feeder empty. I've got a small pistol plate up there, the one that I took the spacer washer out of. So we're about to put this to the test. But what I've done is I've taken my tool head out, and I'm just going to run this just like a normal press. And all I'm wanting to do is drop a case in and shoot it out in the discharge bin. I've got about 250 up there. I'm going to run these through 4 times. Of course, I'm not going to make you guys sit and watch this. But one thing I'm not going to mess with, and I have this tube full of primers. So I don't want to empty that out because that's a pain. So I've come up with a little trick here, and maybe some of you guys already know this, but I'm going to turn off this primer feeder system, this linear slide bar system, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that with this same 223 case that we've been using for our case stop switch. So I'm going to pan you around here so you can see how to do this. Alright, so the problem I'm going to have is I've got a primer tube here full of primers, and I'm going to cycle this press. And you have to go a full stroke forward so that the case feeder actually pushes the cartridge into the shell plate. So what I don't want to do is, I don't want to put a primer in these cases because I'm not planning on reloading them. So what I'm going to do is show you a quick trick here. So what we're going to do is bring the press all the way up, or the handle all the way down. We're going to take our 223 case, and the case mouth on this fits nice around that set screw right there. And then we're going to let the press back down. Make sure we center up this case, and it's going to keep the slide bar from going forward. And then as we come up about halfway, we're going to simply remove the operating rod there for the slide bar system. So now I can full stroke this press up and down without my primers coming forward and getting into a cartridge, and I don't have to empty this primer tube, or the primer magazine. So there's a quick tip on how to stop that with the same 223 case that we used for the case stop switch. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see what happens. Okay, first 250 down. Okay guys, so I am down to 750 cartridges, not one single backwards one yet. So this is my last group of 250, and if these all come through no problem, I think I've got my issue resolved. So let's go. Yep, not one backwards. Okay guys, there you have it. I just finished running 1,000 cartridges through my case meter in 9mm with the small pistol plate, and I had 0 come down backwards. So, couple points here. One, again, thank you guys. Even the guys that give suggestions that I've tried already, all the ideas. But the main thing was, all of you guys that said, hey, well, I'm not having this issue. And it really pushed me because I was pretty much done with it. I was just going to live with it. But you guys saying that you didn't have the issue, call Dillon, all of that. And it, again, made me go back and do some digging, do some thinking. And, again, it just goes to show, keep good notes, guys. I mean, keep notes of everything. I keep notes of if I have any die issues, if I break a spring or a pin or anything like that. I was able to go back and see, refresh my memory. I thought this was a chronic thing I dealt with forever, and according to my notes, it hasn't always been the case. And, a couple things we learned. Dillon's Casefeeder spot on. And, yeah, it's going to be, I'm wanting to run more. But I just finished up a big run, so I got a few weeks before I'm going to have to do anything, but I can't wait to run it again. In fact, I might even just set it up and decap, because it was just such a pleasure to, it was very satisfying to watch all those come down on 9mm without any of them being backwards, so I'm very happy. And I hope you guys like the little trick I showed you using that same 223 cartridge there to stop your priming system on your XL750. The same thing, that'll work on your Dillon 550 as well. So out of all of that, there's a little silver lining. You guys get another tip, free tip that from the Squatch. So guys, don't forget to check me out over on Facebook and Instagram at Squatch Reloading. All my videos are right here, and over at the Reloaders Network, I'm there as Squatch Reloading as well. If you like what you see, or if you have any ideas, comments, or even those smart remarks, hit me up at squatchreloading@gmail.com. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. I love those comments to the channel. But until next time, guys, God bless.